Hello guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to make simple models out of basic objects. So basically how to make a Blender model of anything that can be shrunken down to basic shapes and geometry. This method is really fast, really easy, so it's great for making placeholder assets or just for practicing modeling if you're new to Blender. So I'm going to be using Blender 2.79 for this tutorial, but really any version should work fine because these are kind of some of the simpler features of Blender. They don't change too much from update to update. So what you're going to want to do to get started is open up a new Blender file and delete the cube. You can select it with right click and then make sure it's deleted. We don't really need that one for this tutorial. And what you have to do now is figure out what object you're trying to make. In this case, I'm going to be making a car, but whatever you're doing, you want to figure out the basic geometry of that shape. You want to make that object and kind of boil it down to the basic shapes. So for a car, you can think you need like 4 cylinders for a wheel and kind of a square in the center. That's the basic idea you get of car in your head. So what you're going to want to do is go down to this bottom, there's an Add tab, or you can use Shift and A on the keyboard. Either way you do it, you're going to want to go to the Mesh section up top, and you have a couple options to choose from, and what I'm going to be looking for is a cylinder. Most of these are exactly what they say, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure out what the shapes are. I'm going to put a cylinder in, and now you can see that the shape is now inside of my scene in Blender. So once you have a shape inside of your scene, there's actually quite a few things you can do with it. You can move it around. You can use this blue line, drags it up on the Z-axis. The green line puts it across on the y-axis, and this red line will move it across on the x-axis. You can just use that to move it around however you see. You can also press R on your keyboard to rotate it. So if you want to rotate it around like that, you know, and make it rotated however way you like, you can do that with R on the keyboard. And you can also scale the object with S, which is really important. You can actually choose to, let me finish rotating this here. Cannot quite get that perfect. You can press S on your keyboard and you can scale it, change the size of it. If you want to scale it along a particular axis without changing anything else, say if I want to make this shape taller without making it necessarily wider or longer, you can press S and then Z to scale it along the Z axis. You can see it goes up and down on the Z-axis there. So I kind of deformed my shape a bit, but I'm just going to finish up the tutorial with that. And so you can do the same thing, just to make sure you guys know. With X, you can scale it out on X, or with the Y-axis. Same with everyone, just S and then the axis that you want to move it along. So I'm just going to delete this shape and just add a new cylinder just to make this a bit smoother of a process. And so what I'm going to want to do here is just turn it around. There you go, and that's about right. And I'll drag this wheel over here, and because it's a car, it's going to need 4 wheels, and it can get a bit messy to add in 4 wheels. It takes a little bit more time. When you're working with a lot of objects, sometimes it's easier to just go Shift and D, and that duplicates whatever object you have selected. So I'll just drag this over here. And it's not lined up perfect, but that'll be good enough for now. And I'll press Shift and D, drag this over here, and then Shift and D, drag this over here. And I'm just going to take a second here to line them all up a little bit better, because that was not the best job I did in the beginning. And there you go. It's not perfect, but you can see that I've got the 4 wheels over here. So now I'm going to want to add in a square to the middle. So I'm just going to add a cube right to the center. I'm going to scale it up a bit along the x-axis. There you go. Then I'm going to scale it up a bit along the y-axis. Alright, so yeah, that's basically all you need to do to make a basic object in Blender. I just went through this card to show you how to do it and kind of give you a full walkthrough there. That's really all it is. You know, you can do the same thing with a whole lot of objects. There are definitely some limitations to this because these are just basic shapes. There's not that many of them, and this is really kind of the basic features of Blender. But you know, you can still get quite a lot done with this if you find some creative workarounds, you know, and you can do a lot of cool stuff with this. So, you know, if you're looking to go deeper and learn a bit more, there's lots of guides all over the internet. I'll be posting more tutorials, so you can always subscribe, look for more on my channel. Lots of good guides out there. So yeah, have fun trying to make stuff in Blender. I'll see you next time.